Teman, diskusi kita sama beberapa sosiolog dari komunitas lain dan juga agama lain tentang menjadi muslim gitu, cara kamu untuk bisa survive sebagai seorang muslim. Saya jawab bahwa kebebasan yang diberikan oleh Amerika kepada setiap warga negara, setiap pendatang yang saya gunakan untuk mengekspresikan siapa diri saya, agama apa yang saya anut, karena kebebasan adalah milik semua orang. Oleh karena itu,
for all the times that I needed a friend.
Prayers during the past month.
And the fast in Ramadan.
Temporarily then, come to study and go back.
Sometimes temporarily, sometimes they'll stay, sometimes PhD can take a long time.
Yeah.
yeah, for example, I came here as a master student, and then after completing my master student, I go back to, I return back to Indonesia, and then I apply for PhD. So that's the way how we can stay longer in US especially. Yeah.
And a lot of times they're Fulbright students.
Yeah.
A lot of times, or there's also a link here a lot with the Hartford Seminary. I think quite a bit, which has a good Islamics program. Any questions? Or?
What do you want to do when you graduate with your PhD?
No, I'm taking my master right now.
I know, but you said
Oh,
you get your
once I
PhD.
got PhD, I'm
You
planning
wanna
to
go
stay.
back, or?
No, I'm planning to stay in US
Ah, yeah.
to work in one of the company, either in DC or other states. So I'm still looking for that one again.
Not teach.
Probably, but I'm still thinking to work in non-government organization because I can push my passion and also my skill on that. Either, yeah.
Can I ask you, what is it like to be one of the leaders of a mosque in America, as opposed to being a leader in Indonesia? What is it like to be a religious leader here in another country? Either of you.
Yeah, that's really great question, I think, because being a leader in Indonesia is kind of like easy because we live with others, religion, with the same perspective, the same language. But here we have to be more open-minded and to be aware with the society and all of the religions and the community.
Missed it Tuesday. There was a huge ending of fast, Syawal, worship service, and then food you wouldn't believe. In fact, I'm glad you weren't here because we're going to have great food, but it doesn't compare with what they had on Tuesday. But it's the high point of the Indonesian Muslim calendar, and it was just last Tuesday.
Yeah, that's right.
I also missed that actually.
I know, because my plane was late. It was crazy. I was in the middle of the night. Yeah.
That's why I was.
I'm angry with
How
America.
many people would be here?
Oh gosh.
Oh, we are like this time around 500.
5 or
500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not here, but
here. We are in the park.
Because it's the high point,
Yeah.
and there's a lot, and people would come from all over the tri-state area, especially Indonesians, not just Indonesians.
Not just Indonesia,
Right, I
many
mean,
are refugee and then some Pakistanis and many other countries also.
And the same thing.
Yeah.
The same thing here.
I've heard that you have a history of working with Rohingya from Burma.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll never be moving on. I'll be there by your side when times are rough. You're feeling down, girl. I'll still be around, girl.
Are you familiar with the Rohingya? The persecuted Burmese community that's Muslim, that is ethnically quite different. A lot of them have gone to Bangladesh, but a lot of them are in refugee camps, not only in Malaysia but in northern Sumatra and other places.
Aceh.
So and so they learn Indonesian, and so if they come here, quite often they can speak Indonesian, or if they're in Malaysia, Malaysian and Indonesian are essentially the same language. It's like the difference between British English and American English. So so this is and that's why some of the Indonesian, especially Indonesian Muslims in this community, have a special burden for the Rohingya community because they see they're persecuted people that are of their faith, and they can talk to them and they understand their situation.
Yeah.
Let's go here and then. Go ahead.
My question is about, because you mentioned about students coming here for study, and I'm just curious about whether, in the center, there are some families had already been migrated to here, and what's the percentage between the kind of a host, families have, that has been, have been settled down here, and also the students, because we know students, even graduate students, might stay about 3 years or 5 years, and they may leave, but what's the kind of relationships or interactions between the families who have been here for 10 years, 15 years, and also the students as well?
Actually, I don't have experience. Yeah, based on my personal experience, I think because I'm a student, so when I came here,
I just basically rephrased your question.
Yeah, there's no special welcoming student or kind of party or gathering for that. So actually, when the first time I came here and then I found Al-Falah, I got the connection from one of the Jama'ah, the member of the mosque. So that's how I can found the mosque, and then how I can contribute to many of activities in this mosque actually. Yeah. So.
It sounds like you have quite a good relationship with other Christian groups here, whereas that's not always the case, I think, in Indonesia itself. So you experienced something different here in America. Could you talk about that a little bit, how your experience with Christians is in Indonesia compared to your experience in this new environment?
Yeah, actually, the most unforgettable moment during I stay in US is the first time I came to the church. I prayed in the church. So that's really, really interesting for me, because in Indonesia, I never come to the church and really cross to the church. Even though in my country, especially my state, Aceh, we apply the Islamic law and Islamic rules. So I just cross the church, interact with others, but never came to the church. But here in US, I come every Friday because at Lehigh University we don't have the special mosque. So we did the Friday prayer at the church. So I make the dua at the church, and sometimes, and also I join with the Sunday, what is it? Sunday
Service.
Sunday service. Thank you for that. Yeah, so that's really, really unforgettable moment in my life, and give me another perspective that, okay, you have to be more and more interactive with others, and that's really good. Yeah, I really enjoy that. I'm grateful to be a student at US.
I've heard people say that here in South Philadelphia, even in Indonesia, it's known as a place where this is a unique relationship where all the Indonesians tend to work better together.
Yeah.
And it's sort of an example for the world, really.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, so it depends on the person actually, how they can build connection with others, not only with Indonesian, but with other community, with other religion. And the more you can engage and reach out with others, the more you will be more diverse and be more open-minded person.
You know how, like in the United States, and forgive me, Canadians here, but you know how you have to know about us, so you're to our north, and we're always beaten up on you. But in the United States, in the South, it's church area, right?
Okay.
Well, you got Aceh and Sunda here, right?
Yeah.
These are Islamic areas. I mean, really. In fact, Aceh is called in Indonesian the veranda of Mecca. Historically, for hundreds of years, when people would do pilgrimage to Mecca, they would have kind of a minor pilgrimage to Aceh. And this has become and that's been even a contentious situation in regard to Aceh being a part of Indonesia. And then West Java, which is where we lived, is a very, very serious Muslim community. I mean, it's hard to find a Sunnite that's not Muslim. So, in a sense, you've got kind of the representation of like what in the United States would be the deep South Baptists, right, here. And to be able to flow with churches, it's really a beautiful thing. And yet, to be able to respect their faith, it can't help but change you. Just the relationships. I'm afraid that's probably about all the time we're going to have, because we got to get over to eat, and we've got to get over there with enough time to eat, because the place actually closes at 8, although they'll stay open if we're there.
Nah, tadi seperti teman-teman
Praise
bisa
to
lihat,
Allah
menarik
that my
banget
sadness
bahwa
would
mereka yang hadir tadi
end.
itu hampir sekitar 20-an lah, 20 atau belasan, hampir 20 mungkin. Mereka sangat curious, apalagi dalam perspektif saya sebagai orang Aceh yang menerapkan syariat Islam, menjalankan syariat Islam, dan lantas hadir ke Amerika sebagai negara yang penuh dengan kebebasan, negara yang in some point mereka tidak toleran dengan Islam, dan in some point mereka juga toleran dengan Islam, dan mereka sangat curious untuk hal itu. Hari ini bisa kembali menyebarkan, bisa berdakwah terutama ke orang bukan
And it made me
non
wanna
muslim
write a song,
di
cause I
tempatnya
needed you to know that you're my girl and we're a team, girl.
tadi
You
video
complete
agak
my
kurang ini
need,
agak kurang
girl.
bagus gitu, karena saya ngeletakin kameranya, terus ternyata di depan kamera ada yang duduk, dan itu istrinya Prof Jaja dari Temple University. Mereka nanya gitu, bagaimana gitu cara kamu untuk bisa survive sebagai seorang muslim? Kamu dari Aceh, dari Indonesia sebagai negara yang menerapkan syariat Islam, khususnya Aceh, dan kamu harus datang ke sini. Kemudian saya jawab bahwa kebebasan yang diberikan oleh Amerika kepada setiap warga negara, setiap pendatang, adalah hal yang saya gunakan untuk mengekspresikan siapa diri saya, agama apa yang saya anut. Dan itu membuat mereka sampai geleng-geleng kepala, karena ya, kebebasan adalah milik semua orang. على سيدنا محمد صلاة تنجينا بها من جميع الأهوال والآفات وتقضي لنا بها جميع الحاجات. Itu saja, bye bye. Assalamualaikum.